Rust. Rust? Rust? Jesus, that's a lot of rust. So, as you probably noticed, the biggest problem with this Mercedes is the rust. However, what about the other issues? Well, let's check out this E-class more closely. This Mercedes was made from 1995 to 2002 and the estate version to 2003. The interior build quality is great and it's not worn in high mileage cars too. It's also overall very simple with very good ergonomics. So it is still that old school Mercedes interior. On the other side, the steering column cover can come loose over time and some of the owners complained about rattling noise from the sunroof. The quality of the paint job is not the best and the rust protection is, well, on some cars it looks like that there is no rust protection at all. So you can find a lot of cars which have bigger or smaller rust issues. Actually, finding a car which is completely rust-free can be a more difficult task, but believe me or not, they are somewhere out there. The models after facelift have generally less rust problems, but it's not like a really huge difference. All the E-class models are widely used as a taxi, and this W210 is not an exception. So the reliability of this Mercedes should be very good, and it actually is quite good. The common problems are the window regulators, brake light switch, sunroof opening, ignition switch, heated seats, and you can find dead pixels on the instrument cluster, mainly in the facelifted versions. Keep in mind that this is an older car, which means that some other minor electronic problems can occur. Also, almost all the rubber parts will be more worn because of the age, unless they were replaced by the previous owner, of course. The rear differential can leak and it can be more worn, so check for unusual noises from the back of the car. The suspension is really comfortable and it can usually withstand a lot. However, it can be more worn, so check it properly before buying. The estate version is standardly equipped with the hydraulic self-leveling suspension on the rear axle. This feature is great because you can load some heavy stuff into the trunk and the back of the car won't look like a lowrider. This system is actually quite reliable, however it can leak, so check these hydraulic units properly before buying. The standard equipment included air conditioning, cruise control or a radio. Fantastic! However, the optional equipment is much better. So you can find cars with electrically adjustable heated and even ventilated front seats, electrically adjustable steering column, navigation system, rear electronic sunshade or the Bose sound system. The facelifted version of this E-class was made from 1999. The facelift included some exterior and interior upgrades. For example, new steering wheel, new interior trim combinations, new optional equipment, or some new engines were added. This Mercedes is nowadays extremely affordable, which means that the price starts at astonishing €490 for the cheapest drivable one in Germany, and it goes up until €27,500 for a low mileage E320 model. All the petrol engines are reliable, so they can have only regular issues. The diesel engines are also usually reliable, so you can choose whichever you want. By the way, I would highly recommend the 3.2 liter V6 diesel engine because it has very good performance and a low fuel consumption. It's very important to change the oil in the engine after maximum 15,000 kilometers, but the very best is to change it after 10,000 kilometers. All the engines are equipped with timing chain, which can withstand a lot, so it usually is alright. However, sometimes the timing chain tensioners and the timing chain guides can be worn. I would highly recommend replacing these timing chain guides after 300,000 kilometers. You can choose the manual 5 or 6-speed gearbox, which is, as usual, reliable. Then there are two types of automatic transmissions. The first is the 4-speed, which was available only in the early production cars, and the second is the more common 5-speed automatic gearbox. You should keep in mind that the automatic transmission can have problems with mainly leaks, and the conductor plate can also fail. So it can have electronic or mechanic issues, mainly if the previous owner has not changed the oil regularly. Don't forget to check the automatic gearbox properly before buying. It should change gears very smoothly without some kind of a strange noise or hesitation. I would definitely recommend changing the oil in the automatic transmission every 60,000 kilometers. Before buying, check the suspension parts and all the electronics. The car should ride quietly, so it shouldn't make rattling, squeaking or humming noises from the suspension. Check the exterior of the car for various paint defects or rust, and I am pretty sure that you will find some rust. Also check the gaps between the body panels, they should be even on the left and on the right side too. I hope that this information are helpful enough. If you have some questions or if you have personal experience with this car, then write it into comments. Thanks for watching.